a microsode.
Give me your microsode.
I'm gonna give you my microsode.
What you got? What you got? What you got? Oh, sorry, that's not a way to talk in this. Let's do this. Okay. Thunder Goose Podcast.
Coming at you live
It's not even true.
from New York City.
Oh man, this is the third episode of microsodes.
Is it
the
3
third.
or 4?
No,
Well, no, I guess it's the third of like what
the
we're
third,
doing.
The third sode. The third sody.
The
I
third
think I drooled on my
sode.
chin. Dang.
Yeah, what?
I drooled on my chin.
Dude, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
It's on cam.
I almost just burped into there.
What are we doing today? What are we doing?
All right, guys.
We're doing our third microsode,
Doing a third microsode.
which is. I just got a sneak peek of what it was.
So we're diving into the. Okay, so this. Let me do a little context. I was trying to figure out what would be a fun, like another microsode. I first went to Omari, Omori, my bad, because I was like, oh, well, this game I love so much, and it probably has so much dark stuff. But the game is the dark stuff.
Omori is dark.
The game is the stuff. Like you could there were a few things where like there's this iceberg in it, and I was like.
Icebergs aren't always.
The community wasn't really what I was wanting it to be. I mean, not as a whole. I'm just saying in that one context.
Yeah.
So I looked for other games, and I was like, man, like what could I do? Like what has a fun dark side? And I was like, I totally forgot about something called Cursed Pokemon ROMs.
Oh yeah. Man,
and so I was like, why don't I go through this? And so as I was doing that, I was just getting in way too deep. I didn't really know where to start, so I wanted to start somewhere a little bit like different. But what I'm saying is, my whole thing is I'm gonna kind of go into some of the darker like Pokemon ROMs, and then from there I'm gonna break out into I think just ROMs in general over games and kind of like the different like dark things between like the cultures of them or even. I don't know. Just I'm just gonna go
creator
like
history that's weird or or off-putting or whatever scary stuff gets tied to it.
Yeah.
Creepypasta-esque.
What I did do from all of my research and all of my fun things, and I will link a few videos. I'm very bad at saying. I just realized I have video of us last time going like this, and I didn't put it there. Fuck, dude.
I just had only one person to blame for that.
I was like, oh, there's only one. It's me. Dude, that's so crazy.
Did you make the note in the actual audio file?
I did too, and I was like, why the fuck are those notes in there?
That's even sadder than.
I need to label them. I was like, what is this for? Yeah. So anyway, this will maybe be the person's whose video I watched a lot, but we're gonna be doing this. It's Scary Pokémon Icebergs, and the name kind of sounds stupid.
Well, I'm
not a huge fan of the name.
I think defining the word iceberg in this context is probably helpful as well.
Yeah. So iceberg means a big block of ice that the Titanic crashed into, and
the general concept of icebergs is they're always more underwater than there is above water, right? And so the general gist of it is everything above water is kind of the general knowledge stuff, the stuff that maybe you heard of or know about, but it's not super secret. It's the stuff under the water, the stuff that's like, oh, that's obscure. I had to do some research for that one. It's those weird stories that popped up for a second and then were gone for the rest of the time. It's these weird things that are going to be like so obscure that the further down you go, all the way to the bottom of it is the most obscure information. So that's what an iceberg is in this context.
Yeah. I only have 2 obscure, like really, really deep ones, mainly because I didn't really fully want to go there yet. I wanted to kind of it was like the tip a little bit, and then we get into some in the middle, and then a little bit on like the lower ends, but not like super crazy into the.
There's just so much to.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon icebergs out there.
So, okay, so we'll start small, start light. Okay. Everyone's played Red and Blue probably, and so we have our favorite character, Missingno.
Yeah, from the Cinnabar Island glitch. Yeah.
Yes. So one of the darker things. I mean, I loved this thing. I never thought this thing was dark. I thought it was always a blessing. I mean, sometimes it totally broke your save file. But
It's
there were times where you're just like, fuck, I have to restart the whole game.
I think it's as soon as you deposit Missingno into your bank.
Yeah, it's just like
the game just the file corrupts, I think, or something like that. Like he has to be in your party if you catch him. Like he can't ever leave your party. He's also broken as hell though.
Well, no, because you could just get infinite things from him. So that's if you don't remember. I can't remember what is it. You give it to them.
No, Red and Blue Pokemon couldn't hold items.
Oh, you're right. So
it was
you had
the 6th slot in your bag.
That's right.
And that item got duped up to like 99 plus 99, I think, or something like that.
Yes.
But it was always a different symbol counting down until it got to 99. So obviously it was the Master Ball Rare Candy glitch, for us.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
So that was all my recollection of him, or it. But as I was kind of going through it, people were talking about how so the Cinnabar, I think is how you say it, right? Is it
Cinnabar? Yeah.
Cinnabar Island.
Yeah.
Is the home so it's home to the Haunted Mansion, and it's home to like the laboratory with like Mewtwo and stuff, right?
Well, where Mewtwo was. Not anymore. Mewtwo was in the cave in Celadon.
Yeah, well, I'm saying where he was, the lab.
Where he was made.
Right, exactly. So two places that have experimented on Pokemon, leading to what people say.
I mean,
hypothetical abominations.
I like to take the Pokemon First movie explosion as canon for like Mewtwo's escape.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is quote unquote canon or whatever. It probably is, but Mewtwo killed people in that one, so it's pretty dark.
Well, no, he kills people, and then like the bones. I saw one of the things. I didn't do any of this stuff with the anime, by the way, because though anime is canon, I felt like it was a lot different than the video game structure I was trying to go to. But there were a few things that were like, character design would have been differently. There's literally a Pokemon episode about going to hell,
right?
So like different things like that. But that's not really what I'm doing. I was doing more on the games.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing that I didn't know is so the idea is like hypothetically these things are like, what is it? There's a few different variants that people found, but for the most part it's just like the normal like block one that like we're used to.
It's like a double. It's like a one giant long Tetris piece with it's like a backwards L, right?
Right.
But like a really big like horizontal part of the L.
I don't know why I didn't do this because I actually put pictures in here. I didn't put a picture of this. But so the darkest part of this theory is that Missingno is made up of multiple like different parts of Pokemon, because there's an eye in it. There's like a little arm,
right,
if you could see, and so you're just like, okay, so like this thing. So the idea is it's just been tortured
to take this glitch and imply or apply reality to it, like
right.
It is actually
exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So that was the first. Again, easy kind of get there. We all know what that one is.
Super. Yeah.
So another one. So we go a little bit deeper, and it's like, are Pokemon human?
I've heard this.
Have you? I thought this was fascinating because I've heard a little bit.
So go over some of it because I've heard.
So the idea is there are. People in Pokemon are obviously like different, right? We just think of them as like, oh yeah, like Joel, I'm gonna go catch a Pikachu, and that Pikachu is a monster or it is an animal or whatever. But there has been a handful of evidence that suggests that either people were Pokemon at one point or vice versa. So it's like, like Pokemon were just people. I guess that's what I say. It's the same way back then. But yeah, so it's Pokemon were people at one time, and then like once they lost like their humanity or whatever, like they turned into that. And so there's a handful of Pokemon. I looked these up to make sure these are real because these felt like super fake.
Sure.
So there's Pokedex entries. So Yamask, you remember Yamask?
Yeah, from Gen.
I think it's Black and White.
Oh, Black and White. Oh, because it's supposed to be the Hunter stand-in. Okay, or not the Hunter one, but
so this Pokedex entry says each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human.
Yeah.
Sometimes they look at it and cry. So,
it's always the ghost Pokemon too,
and you're just like, damn, dude. Like it's super crazy. And also another ghost Pokemon, Gengar Pokedex, and this one is in Fire Red, Leaf Green,
which is Gen 1.
Mm-hmm. It apparently wishes for a traveling companion. Since it was once human itself, it tries to create one by taking the lives of other humans.
Dude, this is that's so nuts to think about.
They put that in there, bro. And then, so there's also library in the Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, and Platinum. In the Carnivale. How do you say this word? Carnivale.
So it is.
And I'm assuming Carnivale.
Maybe
Carnivale.
I don't know. We'll correct whatever.
Yeah, my bad.
It's a city in Pokemon 4.
It's a city in Pokemon.
So.
There's a book called The Original Story. The book contains a myth that suggests that Pokemon and humans were once the same. Here's a paraphrased version of the story. So long ago, people and Pokemon were considered the same existence. To be of the same existence, the Pokemon possessed extraordinary abilities that surpassed those of humans. However, as humans developed their intellect, they began to rely less and less on their innate abilities and more on the tools. This caused a separation between humans and Pokemon. Over time, the abilities of Pokemon became a mystery and a source of awe for humans. And so...
It's just split in the evolutionary line?
Yeah.
That's all it's saying?
That's all it's saying.
Okay. Right on.
We're just like, I guess we're catching those people
now.
now.
That's interesting because what do you do about the Pokemon from asteroids? Like, Pokemon are aliens, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do with that? Because isn't that confirmed?
I think so. Like the moon and the sun ones were aliens, weren't they not?
No, I think the literal idea was Pokemon came down on a giant asteroid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe that's wrong. That was in the anime, I think.
Oh, well, the anime is dumb.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. It's not. It's very cool. Okay, so we go a little bit more. So I didn't really know about this because I don't think I've played Silver. But you fight
Game
so
Boy Color, right? You're saying?
Yeah, exactly. In Game Boy Color,
long time ago.
So Red is a character that you play as in Gen 1, right? I mean, you can obviously change their name.
Well, Red and Blue, yeah, whatever.
But
Red is the main guy.
Red is the main guy, and then so you can fight them or him in Silver, and so people are saying that when you defeat Red, he disappears and you never see him ever again in the game. Also, he doesn't say anything during the fight. It's just like beep beep beep.
He's
beep,
a super
beep.
boss. Yeah.
And then his mom, if you go and talk to his mom after you do that, she says, he hasn't called or talked to me or been here in such a long time. I don't know where he is. And then you go up to his computer and it says dust has collected on it. And so it's this idea that like he was a spirit already, and like you kind of just released him into now like go to heaven.
His defeat. Oh, like he
so
was.
He was like stuck here, and you kind of helped him out. But then it's like no one knows where he is, right?
Or the battle was so intense he got killed from it.
Or the battle was so intense you
just saying, man.
Wrecked him.
We're talking about level 70.
I didn't put it in here, but we'll talk about that right now. There is a thing on Raticate on Blue's Raticate.
Oh,
so if you kill, when you fight him, he has Eradicate.
By the way, Red is Dead theory. I'd never heard that.
Really?
That's sick.
It's a fun one. I like it. And so and Blue and Red, if you fight Gary, he has Eradicate. If you defeat that Eradicate and then go to Lavender Town, he's there, and will say, "What are you doing here? Doesn't look like any of your Pokemon are dead." And then you fight him, and he doesn't have the Eradicate in his party anymore.
Whoa! Oh, I think I remember this one.
So it's like he's there burying the.
That's such a sad.
Isn't that crazy? And you were the one to kill it. So that's what they're saying is like you killed that Pokemon. It's just like these little micro things where it's like a little kid's like you're not gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's nice to see that. I mean, the real
it's fun.
The candid nature of Red and Blue it's very. Like not a better way to say this, but it's a very black and white game. It's also a Pokemon Black and White, but it's a very black and white game. There's only so much room in memory for text, so everything is said very like matter of fact, or it's got this terrible like tinge of like I'm an asshole, like how Gary is the entire game. Like there's just no variation to it.
None.
It's just all.
And still today, pretty much that.
Yeah.
There was that one story that we kind of liked.
There's more emotion in the writing, man.
Yeah. In one storyline.
Yeah.
In one storyline. I don't think in all of them. I think in that one.
No, I just think. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
I think Scarlet and Violet's story is awesome.
Okay, so this will be the last one of the tip, and then we're gonna go a little bit deeper. This one is not really that well researched, and is not even honestly that kind of cool. But so in every Pokemon game, I think except for one, I didn't write it. Oh, the Hyun region.
Hoenn?
Hoenn.
That's third.
I spelled it wrong here, and I knew I spelled it Hoen. I was like, that's not how that's spelled.
That's Ruby and Sapphire.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
supposedly you have a dad in that one. I can't remember a dad in that one.
Well, he's the 5th gym leader.
Oh,
Norman.
yeah, you're right. You're
Norman,
right.
the normal type. Your dad's the normal ass dad.
Yes, dude.
Who has a slaking as his final, a lazy oaf.
Oh,
What does that tell you about the guy, dude?
I don't know. Well,
probably
he's putting in work. He's putting in work.
He's putting. I mean,
He's in the gym.
slaking has the high. I don't know if it still has the highest raw attack power of a non-legendary, but for the longest time, at least until last gen, it had the highest attack power for a non-legendary, and I think legendary as well. Actually,
Damn.
But the downside of slaking is that every other turn, he's loafing around, so you only get to attack once every 2 turns.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway, so every Pokemon game, your dad's not there. If you go to your rival's house, their dad's not there. And honestly, in your town, there's not a lot of dads.
You never have a dad. Yeah.
What people are starting to have a story as is there is a great war in the time of Pokemon.
I've heard this. I've heard this.
And that all of their dads are either dead or are dying in battle right now. And I'm like, what?
Well, there was a war.
Like, and then that's like the thing is like there was a war that they do talk about. And so I feel like there is some validity to this because you do actually see a lot of guys, but a lot of them are older, like
hikers
like,
or
yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like
elders.
grandparents. Yeah, it's a lot of elders, and there's like some like kids, but that makes sense too because you're a kid.
Not a lot of adult males.
But there's not a lot of adult males. There's some, for sure. There's some, but a lot of times they're like Team Rocket, the people who wouldn't be fighting the war. They don't give a fuck about it. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting theory. I thought it was. I mean,
Lieutenant Surge talks about war. Lieutenant Surge was in the war.
Yeah,
he is an actual lieutenant. Like he's not just Lieutenant Surge as in like that's the moniker he goes for the gym. Like he was actually lieutenant in war. So
okay.
Huh.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a tear down, kind of, and it's called. I'm calling this one Voltorb's Vengeance.
Okay.
So in Pokemon Arceus, you can find a paper that says,
"Oh, don't get mad at us for that. We don't know if it's Arceus or Arceus.
Arceus or
Arceus sounds way better.
Arceus?
Yeah.
What'd I say? I said
no,
Arceus.
you said Arceus. I think it's. I don't know what it is. People
Arceus
say both.
just sounds cool.
It does sound.
So if it's not correct, then I'm sorry. Now I'll say it
sounds better
better
than Arceus to me. So
yeah. Anyway, in this video game, you can find. I don't know if it's in a book or a piece of paper, but it is there, and I did check. This Pokemon is always in high spirits, and this is talking about Voltorb, and has a friendly personality. However, it discharges its stored electricity all at once from the hole in its head when it gets excited. So it frequently shocks humans and Pokemon in its vicinity. Even the slightest provocation can set it off. Provocation can set it off in such a discharge. So in human settlements, this Voltorb in this region is considered a nuisance. So tales of temporarily plugging the hole on the Voltorb's head and kicking it out of settlements are not uncommon.
Oh man.
So what this goes into is like why, because you know how like they're all like angry at you for the most part.
When they evolved and they're all like, yeah.
And so the crazy thing is like this will eventually lead to like their death. Like they said that there was another like book that talked about how like if the energy is stored up, like they self-destruct like too over long, but they're shocking themselves, right? So once the shock goes out, instead of shocking around, it shocks inside. And so some of them, it's like this is why it's a little bit deeper. It's getting into the lore of so because it caused so much pain, a lot of them would self-destruct themselves.
Goodness, dude! Trigger warning, people.
So that's where the theory is, and you're like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty wild.
Wow, dude, that is really morbid.
I know, and I was like, why is this in the video game? Like why? Like you don't have to put that one little tidbit into the video game. Like you could have taken that out if you didn't want it there, but they want that means they want it.
Well, Pokemon wasn't necessarily like
it's not a baby game.
Well, Red and Blue, I don't feel like were as baby as I shouldn't say baby. They weren't as like kid friendly, I would say, as like the newer ones. You know, like Red and Blue were tough games.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they were. Oh fuck, they were.
And that Voltorb lore just sounds like maybe they were like thinking about some dark shit there, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, well, hey, this is the easy way to get rid. It's the same thing as like a mousetrap. I mean, to some degree, right? Like,
yeah.
To them, they're like, these guys are pests, and I'm just trying to take care of it.
Or roach spray or whatever.
Yeah. Roach spray.
Roach spray or wasp killer.
Okay.
Yep.
We're diving deeper. Going in a little bit. And this one is interesting. So, you know Cubone?
Yeah.
You know Marowak?
Yeah.
What do you know about their masks?
Mm,
What are they?
they're master bones. I think the mask is the mom's skull, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Cubone? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was confirmed.
That's what people say.
Oh no, that wasn't confirmed.
That's what people say, and probably the anime it was confirmed in that for
Okay,
that
what
one
is it
for that
actually?
one Cubone.
Yeah, for that one Cubone, but it still was a bone for or bones for its.
So now that they
master.
all have this, right? They all have these bones.
Do they think it's like an exoskeleton?
So Cubone and Marowak are known for a bone meringue attack,
Mhm.
right? And people are kind of trying to associate that with some like very fierce hunters that used to hunt with like, you know, a boomerang and kill a lot of kangaroo and like
Yeah.
Australian stuff. And so people are going like, oh, so this is kind of relating him. This is why it gets a little bit deeper, but they used to kill Kangaskhan's because those are like the kangaroo things. So they would just so it's like this blood feud between these two groups.
So the skulls are
Marowaks-
Kangaskhan
and
skulls.
and then they hand them down generationally to their kids.
That's so much cooler, though,
it's
dude.
so much
So
cooler.
much cooler.
It's such a cool.
The idea of
I
a
was like, the
Marowak,
only reason I put it in because I was like, this is pretty far fetched. But I was like, this is just metal as hell.
like Marowak prowling in the grass with like its bone meringue or whatever.
Hell yeah, because I love Cubone
That's
and I love
awesome.
Marowak. So I don't know.
I wish the stats were an ass, but yeah.
I knew that's what I'm saying. They're like one of my favorite designed Pokemon, but I do think that they're shitty and I never use them.
They're like pretty. I don't know. It just feels like when you're playing Gen 1 and you can get like a Sand Slash, why would you get a Marowak?
Because they're cooler, but you're right.
I don't know. A lot of stuff's like what. There's better ground Pokemon in Gen 1, aren't there? Maybe I'm being dumb. Maybe I'm being ridiculously stupid. Because I'm trying to think of what other pure ground besides Doug Trio. Who's gonna pick Doug Trio?
No,
A
not
lot of
me.
people want to pick Doug Trio, actually.
I mean, they just dig anything.
Dude, this is a good tier. This is a good poll to put out. Is best pure ground type in Pokemon Red and Blue, Sandslash, Doug Trio, or what was the other one I said? Shoot,
Marowak.
Marowak. Sorry, it's
Marowak ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ground type, pure ground.
Okay.
I wonder what is the
Thought it
best
was
one of those
normal.
three. What? It was normal?
Nah.
Nah, dog. Did you know that the Boomerang isn't a normal type move? Oh wait, isn't? I think it's ground or fighting. One of the one of
It
the
has
two.
to be fighting. That makes more
Yeah.
sense. Anyway, that's pretty sick, huh? I like.
Anyway,
anyway,
that's pretty sick, huh?
give me props. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, dude. So I don't know. That one is a little bit more whack, or out there.
Oh wait,
What's up?
is Marowak not ground?
I didn't think so.
Marowak
It's normal, isn't it?
type. This is weird. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel so bad, guys. My
You're
bad.
wrong. You wrong.
I know there is a ghost type of him. Oh, it's ground. All right, yeah, he's ground.
Wrong.
I'm dumb. Cerebi was wrong. Or maybe I just misread that. Well, there's the ghost fire version of Marowak.
Well, yeah,
which
that
is
one's fucking
so
sick.
sick. Anyways, go on.
So this one's a little bit more real because this one has a little bit more validity to it.
I guess the real question is why
yeah.
would you even choose a ground type in Gen 1? Because like the only person really using rock types, which is what ground's good on, is Giovanni, but he's also part rock, so you could just use the free Hitmonchan, the Hitmon that you got on him. Or you could use your starter if it wasn't Charizard, because obviously you're going to womp the last gym leader. All right, go ahead.
Hello. Is this thing on? No.
Hello.
Okay. So items that you find. So you know how items you find just on the ground, they're like super fun.
Pokeballs.
They're like,
What?
I found a Pokeball.
Wait, you know how items you find just on the ground? They're super fun.
They're from dead people.
Whoa.
So the idea is
Why?
when searching across every Pokemon game, right, you find random items that do not belong, right? Like Pokeballs don't belong there. Sometimes you find like obviously stuff where you're like, okay, you could probably find this
Like,
in the
why is a
wild.
TM in the grass?
Yeah. So the theory is that these are left by trainers who have died like in battle or just like from Pokemon. Because again, we see that Pokemon attack us in Sword and Shield, the same fucking game. The newest one and in Arceus. Fuck you, it's Arceus.
Pokemon attack you?
Yeah, they attack you. Yeah. And on Arceus, they try to kill you. I mean, like you get blacked out yourself.
I mean, we've been seeing Pokemon attack humans the entire time. What do you think Pikachu does to freaking Team Rocket every time they get too close?
Okay, that yeah, you're right. You're right.
Violence occurs.
Yeah. So just the idea also is that in Arceus, when you die, you leave things behind, and you can find things from other people.
Huh.
So that's the theory, that it's just like every single thing, and again, it's more so like, just remember, if you find that like Pokemon balls, you're taking someone's like.
I just wish it was a dead body with a white wisp on it, like in Dark Souls now.
Take this from
Pokeballs. Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty intentional placement.
Okay, so this one you're going to love because it has a picture and it's a Pokemon card that solidifies lore. That's fucking crazy.
I'm in.
Okay, so Shedinja.
No.
You know it.
No, that's not the name.
How do you say it?
Shedinja.
Shedinja.
The Pokemon that you get for free.
Well, there's a reason you get it for free.
It's because it's molt. It's molt.
No.
Or shedded skin, right?
No, dude. No. You fucking idiot. Pokedox entry.
Pokedox entry. Pokedox?
Says, I said Pokedox, baby.
Okay.
Pokedex entry.
Okay.
It says, a discarded bug shell that came to life, peering into the crack on its back, is said to steal one's spirit. That's in Ruby and Sapphire, and that's real. I checked because I own that game.
So the common consensus is that I have understood it mechanically and only mechanically. Lore-wise, never looked into that. Mechanically, when you get a Ninjask to level 20 and it evolves into, Nincada to level 20 evolves into Ninjask, if you have an open spot in your party and an empty Pokeball in your inventory, a Shedinja will show up there. Yeah. Automatically.
Yes.
It's the fastest ghost Pokemon in the game. Or is it the fastest Pokemon in the game? I'm not sure.
It's so fucking fast. No, I don't know.
1 health. So the lore is that like maybe it was possessed.
Yeah. So and that looking into it like steals the soul. And so you know how it's always in front of you. Yeah. You're the one. As the trainer, you're staring into it.
That's weird, dude.
So people thought it was a myth until more recently, just like some whatever. But then a Pokemon card came out. It has a description. It has, and I'll post this online. It has a move called Life Squeeze, which is played and it sucks the life every round. It sucks 10 HP from every single opponent's enemy. Active Pokemon.
Oh, so it's got the good art. It's got the good art too. That's sick.
What's that?
That's a body. That looks like a body.
It is a body.
Or a soul.
Yeah, it's the trainer. It's the trainer from that Pokemon.
Oh,
isn't that sick?
Yes. Wait. So who is that? Aya Nakash? No. What's the artist's name?
I don't know the artist. I can look it up. But I don't have that.
No, there's just a very prominent artist. There's a designer, a Pokemon card designer. It's very very much my favorite designer. That might be one of them. I just don't know the name without the style is very good.
Yeah. But I thought that was crazy how Pokemon themselves were like, sure, like make that one like little kind of weird lore thing canon. So it's like it's like this is like one of the most extremely dangerous Pokemon ever.
Next to what's the Greavard, the dog that
that sucks your
that makes kids disappear or whatever. It makes you disappear, doesn't it?
What the fuck?
The graveyard dog.
Yeah,
from the new game.
Yeah.
What does it do?
I don't know. It like sucked your life or something.
Yeah, it takes away your life if you touch it for too long.
Okay. What the fuck does that have to do with kids?
I don't know. Next,
Jesus.
Next Berg.
Christ.
Next tier.
Dabs, we're going to this one first, and then we're doing the fun one. Okay, so this is the Void, but this is mainly because I'm actually going to call this one the Depths, and I think the other one is more of a Void one. And so...
Did you make your own iceberg?
Kind of. I had someone else and I went through different things. But this is, again, I will link all the stuff in the description. Because I watched like 4 videos and then I took pieces of those videos and was like, and a lot of them had a lot of the same things. So I just picked kind of because they were pretty long. So I just picked the ones that I found the most interesting or that I felt was like the most relevant to kind of move the series forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have something called, what was that? A bug? The true... What the fuck is up, dude? It's summertime, motherfucker. I hate summer. The true Pokemon ending is what I'm calling it.
We're
here. We're
Here's
back.
the void.
The late anime writer Tekeshi Shooto wrote a blog, and so he wrote a lot of the anime. He wrote a lot of anime.
Tekeshi Shooto, not Takashi.
What'd I say? Takashi.
I just said what you said.
Okay, well, I wrote it wrong. I definitely spelled his name because they didn't spell his name when they were talking about him. Okay, you said it. Say it again.
Takashi.
Okay. Wrote a blog about how he would have ended the Pokemon series.
Okay.
So he was like, he wrote, this is a real blog. He was like, this is how I would finish it if it was all up to me, because he was writing a lot of it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read what he wrote. If I wrote it, I would have used the story that I had planned for the final anime episode. The Pokemon would stage a rebellion, much like Spartacus in ancient Rome. Although at a first glance, Pokemon appeared to be friends with humans, they would soon realize that they're actually being used as slaves, which would lead to an uprising. Pikachu would become the leader of the revolt and end up fighting with Ash. Team Rocket, who are in possession of lots of sinister Pokemon, including Mewtwo, okay, what the fuck? What he just says, like, he can translate Pokemon language into human speech. We tried to mediate with the conflict, but they do a poor job of interpreting it and only make things worse.
What a weird end.
And I was like, yo, that would be awesome. Like, I don't want that as a real ending.
Yeah.
I would love an episode of that.
Yeah, that'd be
I
super
feel like
dope.
that would be very cool. It would be a fun offshoot world. You know how we do multiverses of fucking everything now? Do that.
That'd be super dope as like an OVA.
Yes.
That's
yeah, like
all I
a
want.
weird one. Like, it's just like, oh no, we're in a different place where
Cool.
they hate each other now. So
That'd be
that was
sick.
that one.
You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. That was
Okay.
my favorite, and I don't want you to.
Okay.
I don't want you to look at the picture yet.
I won't look at the picture.
Okay.
I'll
This
look
one
away.
is buried alive, and so you know we
Love
talked
it,
about Marowak. We talked about Marowak a little bit.
Marasack?
Do you remember the Marowak that is inside of Lavender Town when you go to the tombstone and you talk to it? It's like the mom.
You mean Lavender Tower?
Yeah.
Yes.
What did I say? Town?
I mean, it's in Lavender
It's
Town.
in town.
It's just the
Lavender
town.
Town,
It's
but
the-
yeah,
it's-
Lavender
it's
Tower.
The cemetery tower, yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, the cemetery tower,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
Or whatever it's called. Yeah.
there is, and I will say this, I don't know if this is 100% true, because I did not have the time to dive in deep, and as when I was trying to, I couldn't find as much, or I found things that I was like, maybe, but I still wanted to do more research to give it 100%. So supposedly, there was previously written programming for this to where it would be a ghoulish figure called Buried Alive. It was at a zombie NPC.
Oh.
So it was almost more like a little bit of a different, like, kind of jump scare, like almost like he was like a zombie trainer kind of thing.
Okay.
Because he had Pokemon. So he had 2 white hands, which aren't Pokemon, but I'm assuming that's like kind of like his thing. And then a Gengar and a Muck. That was the series that it had. And
Okay.
if you lost the game, so this is the part of, I think, why they took it out. Is I think there's multiple reasons. They probably would have taken this out in general, but I think if you lose the game, your game gets deleted.
Like if you just get whited
If you
out?
get whited out by him, then it says game over,
Oh.
your game gets deleted.
Is this real?
And so hypothetically, this is real. So again, I'm going to do a little bit more research and give you guys thumbs up,
That's
thumbs
not,
down.
you mean supposedly?
Supposedly?
Hypothetical? What do you mean hypothetically?
Isn't that hypothetical? It's not, literally, isn't supposedly and hypothetically literally the same thing?
No.
I feel like it is.
This is not an argument about English. Let's keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of what the game over looks like.
Okay. Jeez, dude. That was real?
Supposedly.
Nice.
You like that?
So I
Hypothetical.
think if Joel puts it up here, I'm not sure if he will. If he does,
right here. It's going to be right there. Ah!
It's a zombie eating a kid,
Ah!
like holding onto a kid. It's red, but it's a zombie eating red. Like there's no blood or gore, but
No.
it's like it's got like missing a jaw looking thing, and it's about to chew on him, bro. What the hell?
I know. So they thought it was too scary and they didn't do it.
Oh man, I'd have peed my pants if I saw that.
Right? So that's all I got. I mean, that was it. So again, kind of fun. I love the world of like just this kind of lore, like the kind of like the cursed ROMs are super fun. I've watched a handful of them over the past few days, and I am excited to kind of go through a few of those. I wanted to play some on my own, so I might try to do that. But ultimately,
Yeah,
that's kind of where I think I'll go for the next one.
for sure, dude.
And we'll see what's going on.
We've got our paths. They're very
We got our
horror
paths.
focused, huh?
Yeah, but that's kind of the most fun.
That's what we like, yeah. Well, thanks, man. These are I didn't know a lot of these.
Yeah.
A lot of this is new to me, which is great because I thought I knew a lot about Pokemon, and I just am constantly reminded that the community
You don't know
knows
fucking shit.
a lot more than me. So I don't know. I don't. But
Fucking Pokemon
that
are
was our third
burgers.
microsode. Next week, join us for the fourth one. I will be leading that one, and my
He's gonna lead the charge.
current plan is to do some stuff on the SCP Foundation.
Woo!
So let's hope that comes to fruition, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
But also check out the other stuff we do. Anime.
Anime. Streaming this.
We both work. We have jobs. We drive.